What's cracking, people? Angelic Mayhem here. Welcome to another edition of Never Played, the video series where I show you a brand new video game title that I've never played before. Today, I have been playing a new 2D god simulator called Reus. This game features you in the role as a god holding dominion over 4 giants who serve your every whim. This game was developed by a brand new independent house called Abbey Games, and is available on Steam, GOG, and a few other websites. To begin, you are God to a tiny, tiny planet. Your job is to bring forth life on this barren rock via the command of 4 giants: mountain, forest, ocean, and swamp. Each can spring forth its namesake biome and then add various resources and magical, quote, aspects to alter the landscape and increase the productivity of the game's land tiles. The more productive the land is, the greater the chance that it will sprout humans. You then must improve the humans' lives by upgrading all of the things around them, even as their town consumes more and more land. At any time, however, each of the giants has a plague that can do away with the humans if they get too greedy or disrespectful. There is a sandbox mode where you can play for as long as you like. There's also the beginning, i.e. the tutorial. And finally, there's Era mode, which is where you unlock all of the achievements and advanced resources. When you start an Era game, you actually have to tell it how long you would like to play for: 30 minutes, 1 hour, or 2 hours. Although, at the beginning of the game, you can only play for 30 minutes. The other 2 are grayed out. As a result, however, the purpose of the game, in a nutshell, is how many achievements can I unlock before the timer runs out. Each achievement you unlock provides you with bigger, better options for upgrading your planet. The graphics menu for the game features 2 aspect ratio boxes, one to pick your screen resolution and the other one to actually set the aspect ratio. One of these 2 boxes is superfluous. You also have a menu option for your unlocks, and basically this is just to keep them organized into 3 subcategories: developments, sources, and projects. This menu helps you keep track of what you have and have not accomplished. Your HUD consists of the icons for the giants, which are useful for accessing the giant's information even when he's off screen or possibly hidden behind one of the other giants, as well as data readouts directly under each of the land tiles. As you upgrade the tiles, the data readouts change to indicate how much technology, money, and food are being generated by each tile, as well as by each civilization as a whole. However, tiles under a very tall mountain can sometimes become obscured by the other HUD elements. And as a general rule of thumb, they're all a little difficult to read at 1280 by 720. This game is all about achievements, what you have and have not unlocked. Periodically, your humans will launch massive projects that require you to improve their area to a certain level. If you succeed, it will unlock 1 additional magical power. The resources you plop down are connected to each other through a system of symbiosis. So if you put, let's say, a special animal next to a complementary plant, both will thrive, and they'll add bonuses to the resources for your humans. In terms of terraforming, you can make mountains, oceans, forests, swamps, etc. But it's not a precision sort of thing. You can't put an island in the middle of your ocean, so it's very basic. The planet isn't very large, so terraforming is only really important when the round first begins. My third game ended about 15 minutes in after one of my giants died. That's just ridiculous. Humans should be focused on surviving, not hacking my tree golem to death with their tiny, tiny axes. The game has a very animated feel to it. There are no real story aspects to it other than the setup they provide to you during the tutorial. That's because this is a simulation game, and I applaud them for not caving to the pressure of explaining where the giants came from or where the planet came from or anything like that you see in other games from the genre. So good on you, Abbey Games. Visually, the game is very nice. It's 2D and the giants are well designed. The resources are tiny, so they don't really have a lot in the way of graphics behind them, but that's a good thing. 0 complaints I have on the look of this game. I think it's very well done. So let's get into the pros and cons. Each biome offers unique resources and upgrades, even when using the same aspects. So I was very excited to see what each new critter and weed would become, as I traveled from one biome to the other. I thought that was a really cool thing. The ambassador system is a really cool game mechanic. You do a job. If you do a good job, you earn an achievement, and then you have to go, you send one of your giants over, and he snatches up your little symbolic human, and then that guy sits on his shoulder and wanders around, and then that giant has a new magical power. I thought that was really well done. I love that the humans go to war with each other. At its heart, this game is a nature simulator, and in nature, survival of the fittest reigns supreme. I wish I wasn't so busy all the time so I could watch the results, but it's nice to know that they're there. Now, in terms of cons, while there is a sandbox mode, okay, so you can just play the sandbox if you want to. The primary era levels are all timed, all right? And to begin, you can only play for a half an hour, all right? Now, that is too short a time for beginners. We need time to get our bearings and to unlock some of the amazing things that you have in store for us, all right? I had to restart far too often. And ironically, the game would be better if instead your first eras were 60 minutes, and then you could try 30 minutes if you wanted a challenge. Abby Games did it in reverse. So I count that as a negative. This game is designed for achievement hunters, so it eliminates any casual nature that a title like this would normally have, and I consider that to be a fault. There's no time to enjoy the atmosphere or to really study the symbiosis. It's only accomplish these 50 things as fast as you can. That's the whole game. The building projects are absurdly humongous. They built one school, that was like 8 stories tall and consumed 1/640th of the whole planet. It took up a whole tile. That doesn't make any sense, all right? That's just absurd. And it places way too many constraints on how fast you can unlock things. The giants crawl around like they're crippled old men. Surely, supernatural beings can do a little bit better. The number of combos of aspect and resource to make better stuff is way too small. Way too limited. Also, some blindingly obvious things are missing. For instance, herbs plus ocean should equal seaweed. But in fact, you can do practically nothing with the oceans, which is a huge missed opportunity. To this very second, I have no idea what my quote level is. I can see that I am a 1 star by looking at the bottom right hand corner of the unlocks menu, but I have no idea what that is. And it turns out your giants can be killed, and the game gives you 0 warning whatsoever, even when their demise is imminent. So I thought that was just ridiculous. If you play this game for longer than 2 hours, it starts to weigh on you. It is very repetitive. I can never focus on the beauty of this game because I'm always trying to beat the clock. I can never focus on the symbiosis of the resources because I'm spending all of my time unlocking the same things I unlocked a half an hour ago. I can never experiment with the plants and the humans because I have to spend a half an hour clicking over on everything over and over again. Let me play with the aspects so I can see what I can create. Let me choose which aspects I want to unlock with my ambassador. Don't just give me the next one on the list, the crappy one that only applies to minerals. Organize everything into one menu where I can choose the one I need without having to flip through the HUDs of all 4 giants. Ironically, the game that I really want to play is Reus 2, because the core idea has great potential. But as it stands, sadly, Reus is not a game that I find interesting beyond its concept. It's a failure of interface design and too many restrictions. For me, this one is a pass. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button or subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this in the future. I'm Angelic Mayhem, and I'll see you next time.